Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Adapting the Outdoors. On today's show we have a great episode for you. This past weekend my father and I had taken just a trip, just the two of us, to a camp called Camp Big Sky. It's located in Farmington, Illinois, and what it is, it's a camp for disabled children and adults. And to be honest with you, it's a very cool place. Later on in the show we will have information for you that you can go to their website. You can call the director by the name of, his name is Brad Guidi, and you can set up your reservations. Also on today's episode, what it was going on at the camp was there was a bass tournament, and I was actually supposed to be going there to film, but instead they actually got me involved in the whole process of going out, videotaping a little bit of the competitors, and also getting some fishing time in myself. So that footage will be shown later on in the episode as well. Like I said, this happened just this past weekend, so stay tuned and I hope you like what you see.
Talk a little bit about what's that?
We're doing?
Yeah.
Thank you guys, everybody, for coming. We're super excited. Great day. Couldn't ask for a better one. For those of you that don't know, this is our first year as Fishing Has No Boundaries for Central Illinois for the chapter here. So we're super excited. Hopefully next year will be even bigger and we'll grow that way. So spread the word. But thank you for everyone that came out to volunteer. Brad especially for giving us this awesome camp for everybody. We're going to spend the morning fishing, boats, dock, whatever you're comfortable with. Anyone with hats, shirts, if you need anything, let us know. I think we'll probably fish until about noon, is that right?
Yeah.
Come back up here, grab some food, give some awards, and enjoy the rest of the day. So thank you for coming out, and I'm going to let Brad talk a little bit more about the camp and what they're doing here, because without this we really couldn't have this event. So thank you very much.
Welcome to Camp Big Sky. Thank God for a beautiful day for the event. And want to welcome you here. Camp Big Sky is one of a handful of camps in the country right now that is totally dedicated to serving children and adults with disabilities. We're open for 6 months every year. You don't have to wait for a special event to come out here. You can come out on your own as a family or with a group. There's a couple things that set us apart from other camps. Number one is that we welcome and encourage families to come out together. To experience the outdoors, and secondly, we always tease that the Wharton and Kellogg Schools of Business probably wouldn't approve of our business plan because we don't charge for our product. All the services out here during the day are provided at no cost. We also have a campground. We would encourage you after, if you get time today, to go down and take a look at the campground. We do have cabins that are available also for overnight stays. We are a very small 501c3 not-for-profit. We don't receive any state or federal funds. We tend to rely on ourselves and prefer to rely on ourselves for our fundraising. And we have a tournament we just had on May 18th down in Canton. That's our 4th in a row. A little bit different format. We pair 20 of our campers with 20 tournament fishermen, and I always tease them about the boats that cost more than my first 3 houses did. So, but anyway, that's a fun event. We have golf outings and other events. What you see here is, in fact, up here at Bruce's Lake, none of this was here 7 years ago. We do almost all of our projects through volunteers, and we want to encourage any of you that need another excuse to go fishing or just to come out. That's how we operate the camp. I'm the only paid full-time staff person for the camp. I want to acknowledge the folks that are here, our volunteers here today. We got Vicki over here in an orange shirt. John Hagan is our maintenance person and handyman and whatever else needs to be done. Craig Rickenwald is one of our tournament fishermen. Got Jan Tarsevich over here, has been with us forever. And Gary Fincham, who's close to forever with us. Who else? Kayla, where are you at?
She's up at the gate.
She's still up at the gate? Okay. Anybody else here today? Okay, just a couple other things. For the first 9 years of our existence, we provided outdoor accessible recreational opportunities for children and adults with disabilities. We serve people from about 15 counties. We host about 1,000 visits every year by people with disabilities and about another 800 or 900 family members and friends, so we're just about 2,000 people. This year we've started a new program that we're just kicking off, and I'm glad to see Suzanne Gresham today. She's the Executive Director for the Special Education Association of Peoria County. We're working with them and also with Farmington School District and Bradley University, and we've developed a life skills education program that uses outdoor activities to teach life skills. Somebody asked me, what does that mean? I said, well, hopefully the kids will be having so much fun they won't realize they're learning stuff at the same time. So we're concentrating on 4 or 5 different areas to teach practical life skills. So again, I just want to welcome you to the camp. If you need anything during the day, if you want to talk to us about anything, please feel free about scheduling a visit to come out or a group. We live by volunteers. Volunteers are the heart of our organization, so if you're interested in volunteering, we just happen to have applications in the building there, and we have brochures about the camp as well. So I'll turn over to Brian, I think as far as any tournament rules and all the housekeeping stuff, and the main thing is thank God for the beautiful day and have a great time.
Yeah, we're ready to get started. It's all catch and release.
Okay.
And we will have some awards, and we'll be taking some pictures, so we'll have some awards at the end to try to get a measurement of the fish if you can, whether it's a bluegill or what is it, bluegill, crappie.
We got bluegill, crappie, black and silver crappie, hybrid red ears, channel cat, and black spotted bass. Now we do have the live well, and we have some fish backs. So are they going to keep the fish to bring back in, or?
If that's okay, if it's not a catch or release, yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, we can release them as long as they're in live well or in a basket. So we can brag a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can always tell lies about the one that got away too. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll load up and let's go have some fun.
Okay, we have our pontoon boat, and Jerry's got his pontoon boat, and then Nathan and his dad are going to be using our accessible boat there. Jerry, I need to get you a 2-way radio. Have on the boat, and we'll have one on our boat, and Nathan and his dad have got some.
Kind of just nipping on that tail end of that hook. How you guys doing over there?
Stopped for a little while.
Doing a little filming? A little filming?
Filming? Yeah. All right, we're on candid camera. How's it going over there?
Going mighty fine.
We heard a bunch of yelling coming from this other boat. We figured we better catch it on film.
Yeah, there you go. He had a fish, and we didn't get her hooked.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I think it's 7 or 8 pounds.
That's pretty nice. What's your name?
Gage.
Gage? How old are you, buddy?
10.
10? What did it feel like?
It didn't feel that like it didn't feel like that big.
Oh, it didn't feel that big? Pretty nice fish, though.
It felt like
Let's go throw it back in the water, Gage.
I think the rest one of the eyes.
Okay, here's the weigh in. And Nathan caught a fish. The big one right there.
Too big for the tail.
Here's 2 big ones. A nice bluegill. But that big one's probably close to 4 pounds.
They got a scale?
Look at that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your thumb in there, hold them
On
tight.
the bottom jaw.
Tight.
Don't let go of him.
Let go.
Here, get over next to Nathan there.
Yeah, over right next to Nathan. There you go.
Good job.
Hey, look at that.
Smile. Okay.
That's awesome. Sorry.
Way to go.
That's it.
Got it.
Did you catch a little bit?
Nice.
Oh, you got hers too. There we go.
Yeah, here.
Stand over
Yeah,
here.
scoot over here.
There you go. All right.
All right, now we got all of them. There we are.
Whoa.
I feel like you're at a press conference.
That's
Yeah.
right. We
Yeah,
Were.
yeah.
We were when we caught that one with
Yeah.
Now you're supposed to say,
Oh, yeah.
you're supposed to say things like, I want to thank my mom and dad. And
The only one that I know about is in Bartonville. I had it in my head, and I can't think of it. It's right there in Bartonville. I know.
these are some of the people that were at the fishing
I
tournament
actually called it, and
today.
at the time I didn't have anything really set up.
I'll walk over here. This is the
Get things figured out.
Which is really unique.
entrance to the
They will sell every
Bruce Lake. Excuse me, Vicky. They have handicap accessible docks, handicap accessible boats, fishing dock over there. Everywhere you look, there's wooden sidewalks like this. There's a boat ramp. There's a, this is called the Activity Center over here.
Now, in the next segment of our show, this is what happened after the bass tournament. It's my dad, myself, a gentleman by the name of Brian Zowens, and a volunteer named Kayla. The four of us went out on the boat that we were using for the tournament that day. And Brian and I did a little bit of bass fishing. He was using a crankbait that goes under the water, and I was using a top water hula popper. As we're going through this episode, or through this segment, him and I just start talking about his program, which is Fishing Has No Boundaries. And he is the founder of the Illinois chapter. There are 23 different chapters throughout the U.S. The first one actually was started in Hayward, Wisconsin. So, pay close attention to this next segment, and hopefully you'll learn a lot of good things. Oh.
Go ahead.
Years. I'm 24 now. I've probably been fishing since I was 5 or 6. And if it wasn't for my dad back there, I would have probably never got into fishing.
You mostly shore then, going off?
Yeah, I don't have access to a boat regularly.
We used to have a boat. But
So, Brian, why don't you tell everybody at home there how you came up with the idea for Fishing Has No Boundaries?
Well, growing up, I was raised up in northern Wisconsin, spent all my summers up there fishing. And so obviously got the experience of the good outdoors and taking my, fishing line with my cousins and obviously my mom and dad and brothers. And Hayward, which is the town I fished in for all the summers, the National Organization for Fishing Has No Boundaries was established in Hayward, Wisconsin. So I have some friends that volunteer for their event up there, and they have about 110 participants for a weekend that come up with special needs of all individuals. And so my friends volunteer for that, and they encouraged me to open one up down for Central Illinois. So that's how I talked to my wife. I met with the head of the organization up in Hayward, and we opened it up last year, and this is our first event. So that's how I got into it. Started fishing, and Hayward happened to be the home of the national organization. There's 23 chapters nationwide for Fishing Has No Boundaries.
Now, excuse me, when was the first chapter open, do you know?
Oh, you just missed one there. I want to say it's about 15, 20 years old, the national chapter, 20, maybe 25 years up in Hayward. And they're opening more and more chapters every year. And fortunately for me, when we open it down here, it's a little bit different from northern Wisconsin where they have resorts. And so you have a lot of pontoon boats and a lot of lakes to choose from to have an event. And I was lucky enough to find Brad Goody here at Camp Big Sky, who has obviously this facility set up for special needs. And met with him, and we were able to, kind of get things together.
Yeah, this boat we're fishing on, this is a pretty neat little gadget they got going.
Yeah, and it doesn't get much use, so we want to continue to, get more and more people out here using it.
Yeah. So what is it that you're using?
I'm using a Smithwick Rogue, but a 4-inch minnow twitch bait, going down probably a couple feet under the water. And you're doing a hula popper there?
Yep. Hula popper on just a simple spinning rod and reel.
Did you get the bass from earlier today on tape? Did you get it?
No, we didn't. Oh, wow. No, we didn't get that one on tape. That was what, about a 4-pounder you said?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Well, you got pictures anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No video, but pictures to prove it.
And actually, during the weigh-in, Dad did get video of it.
Yeah, I got video. He
Otherwise,
caught that. His heart was pounding so bad.
Otherwise, nobody at home's going to believe I caught it. I remember one time my brother, I had a little inner tube that I was using for swimming. And my dad, my grandpa, and I went out on the boat. Well, my brother didn't want to go out on the boat with us. So he took my little inner tube and was swimming around the shallows. He hooked into a 3-pound bass. That thing pulled him around.
He was
with a good
dragging
portion
him
of the
around.
shore.
And we was laughing.
Well, I was, when I was in like 8th grade, I went muskie fishing in Hayward with my grandfather, who was dying from lung cancer or throat cancer. And he gets very weak, and we had to help him get in the boat, and we're muskie fishing in a small little john boat, about a 12-foot,
oh, wow.
10-foot john boat, flat bottom. And I hook into this muskie with this little Rapala, because I was just trying to fish for smaller bass and stuff, and this 45-inch muskie grabs it, and all we have is the little panfish net.
Oh, no.
But we finally managed to get it in and get some pictures. So it was a small little boat, big fish like that.
Hooked into some moss over there.
Yeah, yeah, they did.
That little point right over there was really pretty good. We had a lot of action right on that point there, huh?
Yeah, we did.
Did you happen to catch when somebody called in on the radio? Brad asked how everybody was doing, and the guy said something about a 6 or 7 pounder, and Brad's like, "Come again?"
And he asked us how we were doing. I said, "Oh, yeah, we hadn't caught anything." He said, "Nathan isn't holding his mouth right."
About that time, bass hit my line,
That's
and
when
I
he
lost
caught
my
that.
popper.
Not that great big one, but he
Did you
caught
get a
it.
look at the one that bit your line at all? Did you see him a little boil?
Oh, he was huge.
Really?
And he had to be bigger than the one that I actually got in,
Yeah.
because he was bending my pole even worse than the one I got in.
Got you too close, Nathan.
Now, do you deer hunt or anything like that? Just
Never
fish?
been hunting in my life.
Kids started coming along, the guns disappeared, buddy.
Yeah.
Guns almost scare me. I've heard a lot of horror stories, so that was one of the reasons why. But I wouldn't mind going out and shooting a nice buck or a good-sized turkey.
Yeah.
You're going to clean it yourself, I'm going to tell you that right now.
That's what I had your brother for. He can help me go.
Yeah, he could do it.
Uncle Tony's already said that he wants to take me hunting. At one point he said that anyway.
He got a nice big turkey this spring.
I should talk to Brad. The Brad has some facilities here set up for he lets You know,
That's what he said. We seen him this morning. When I got up this morning and went up to the restroom, why there was 2 deer standing within 50, 60 feet of me.
Ah, nice. Now the cabins, do they have running water up there? Or
No. Cabin runs all on propane. They had bottled water and water for washing and stuff like that. But no, there was no electricity in the cabin. We had battery-operated lanterns. We had propane lanterns outside along the sidewalk.
Oh, those things were bright at night.
Did you hear some coyotes last night?
No, didn't hear anything.
Really?
I didn't hear anything.
Thought for sure last night being nice and cool and fairly clear skies, I think.
They may have been there, but I didn't hear anybody.
It was
was
the thing about being nice
so
and
quiet
outside
and
to
peaceful
see it.
that I slept good.
Yeah. Fresh outside the city air, right?
That's true. It's true. I mean, I live in the country. Nathan lives in town.
So we got Kayla as our camera girl. How did you get involved with this, Kayla? You were telling me earlier.
Yeah, I am a Bradley student. I'm going into my 5th year as a special education major. And one of my teachers sent out an email kind of saying how Camp Big Sky was looking for an intern for their new life skills program. And so, I just immediately contacted Brad. Never heard about Camp Big Sky before that. And, just met up with him and, we clicked. Like, it was really just kind of the right fit for both of us. So I'll be working with the Farmington Central High School, the students in the life skills program there, and just kind of, we're taking lesson plans that I've kind of developed and along with some classmates in one of the courses that I took at Bradley. And we're just kind of using the outdoors and, boating, like navigation, fishing, just things like that to really teach life skills to these students. So that's what
that's awesome.
That's what we're working on this summer. Yeah, it's
like Brad said, they'd be having so much fun they won't even realize that they're learning something.
Absolutely. They just come out here and think they're having a good time, but they're definitely taking things away that they can use later on.
And let's face it, who doesn't love the outdoors?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Couldn't ask for a more perfect day.
Oh yeah.
A week ago I was so mad because the Weather Channel was calling for rain all week. And I called Dad, I'm like, we're not going to be able to go on this trip because it's going to rain the whole time. And
Nathan is a Weather Channel addict.
that afternoon they ended up taking the rain out of the forecast.
That's good.
It's the other day, you talk about kind of life things that kind of make you take a step back. I was walking out of my office and there's a gentleman walking the other way we passed. And, this spring it's either been raining or it's been windy, it seemed like, and it happened to not be raining, but it happened to be windy, and I looked at him as we passed each other. And I said, if it's not raining, it's windy, and he looks at me and he goes, well, at least we're alive to experience it.
Yeah, there you go.
Amen to that one.
And I just kind of took a step back and, you're right. What am I complaining about? Just because a little bit of wind, So I kind of use that for my boys a little bit and stuff.
Absolutely.
But that just happened to be a week ago. I went home, I told my wife, some little things throughout the day that could help change your life. That is kind of one of those things that I will always remember. And he won't ever know that he made a difference in me,
Yeah.
Back in October, actually it was October, November, and December of last year, I had a really bad health spell, and I nearly died 3 or 4 times. I ended up spending 62 days in the hospital, and during that whole time, you know, I was complaining, you know, just being all negative. Well, I got on Facebook one day, and my friend had sent me this link to another Facebook page. It was this family whose little girl had cancer. And you go through her pictures, and there's not a picture of her that she's not smiling.
Yeah.
You know, she's 9 years old, has terminal cancer,
Right.
and she has not a care in the world.
Right.
And I'm laying here in a hospital bed, alive, you know, like not near death anymore, saying to myself, what was that?
That was Dad catching a fish.
Yeah, it was Dad catching my head.
He does have.
Anyway, you know, I'm saying to myself, why am I complaining? You know, this girl is gonna die, but yet I'll be able to go on and live my life.
Right.
So from that day on, I've had a better outlook about my situation. And, you know, and it taught me that somebody else can always be in a much worse situation than I am. And unfortunately, she passed away in February. But I've become really, really good friends with the family.
Yeah, those little moments sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be monumental. Come on, we a little dry. Well, you just got one, right?
One small, a little small.
Oh, there it was. You had
Did I
one,
have it?
Nate. Yeah, he was on.
I didn't even feel him hit.
Look here, look here.
He was missing.
Did you get him, Dad?
Yeah, I got him.
You got another crappie?
I don't know about crappie, but I got something.
Probably that bass that just hit me that I was feeling.
Listen to this. Oh, pumpkin seed.
Is it a good one?
Yeah.
Well, I might have to take over throwing more from you because you're catching more fish. I've got some free hands. Man, I started off hot. I cooled down. Back of the boat's getting all the fish. It's not supposed to happen that way, is it?
No. The middle and the front.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, glad got hip waders on, don't you, Caitlin?
Yeah.
Why? Is it getting deep in here? Is that what you're trying to tell me,
Yeah,
Dad?
it gets deep in here.
Oh, Brad. Or Brian. Look straight out there. Do you see where the water ripples are?
Yeah. Oh, he missed it. He hit it. He had to call it right. Saw him come down. Saw him right through it. You get another one?
Oh.
I was got a water skier.
Crappie?
No, little bass. It's fun though.
Heck yeah. It's always fun when you're catching fish.
How would you know?
Hey, I caught the biggest one.
I'll tell you what. We had just the two of us last night. We had so much fun. You know, nobody else around, cutting up, enjoying ourselves.
You having trouble finding the place at all?
A little bit,
Once we got off the paved road.
Yeah.
we printed the directions out offline, and it was simple to follow. And Jan met us at the gate and spent the evening with us. And,
I think the hardest part was getting our van up the big hill that leads out to the lake here. Because it's going up the hill and it's grinding.
He didn't think the van was going to pull that hill. I said, that van will pull that hill. No, there's a crappie.
Another crappie.
That's all right.
What are you using back there, Dad? The chartreuse
Oh,
twin
green
tail?
twin tail, yeah.
Man, where's that breeze we had this morning?
Yeah. Still not bad. Not bad at all.
Getting bored holding the camera yet, Kayla?
No, not at all. It's just nice to be out here.
So
You know?
did you say you graduate?
This upcoming May, so a year from this summer, yeah.
Where are you from? Are you
I
from
was just
Peoria?
gonna ask.
No, I'm from the Chicago area, suburbs about maybe 45 minutes or so northeast of the city.
Okay.
I got a friend that's from Batavia.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of near that area, a little closer to the Schaumburg area.
Okay.
You know where that is? About
Uh-huh.
15 minutes from Schaumburg.
I had a girlfriend that was from up in Woodstock,
Okay.
where Groundhog Day was filmed.
Oh yeah.
Now you can't be showing up the host here now. More fish than I am.
I told you if you wanted the front of the boat, I said everybody catch
You
most.
gave him a choice, didn't you?
Yeah, you said no. I'm gonna stick right in the middle. I'm like, all right.
Because this has been my honey hole all day.
Apparently not right now.
Yeah.
You caught the biggest, so that's all you're
That
gonna
is
get.
And
true.
I'm never going to let him live it down.
Yeah, that's right.
That was funny.
Is that the biggest bass you like?
That is the biggest bass I've ever caught.
Oh, that is awesome.
And then the excitement, of course, it felt bigger than it was, but it's really big.
A little bit of a letdown when you saw it.
No, not at all.
No, he thought he was going to lose it like he did the
The
previous
first one,
two.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he
let's
lost
not get
two
started about
before
those.
that. And of course he kept saying, "What am I doing wrong? You know, I'm not setting the hook hard enough." Or something. I said, "You're not doing anything wrong. They just didn't have them hooked good enough. Just let it go, you know."
That and I haven't restrung this pole before, so I'm
Yeah,
sure
that
the line's
pole is-
brittle.
It needs some line.
Yeah, I've had it for 3 years and have yet to restring it. Now, I have caught a 5-pound catfish before,
Okay.
and that thing scared me because I had this pole in the water with a bobber on it, and I was setting up another pole to go bass fishing with. Well, I had it resting against a picnic table. He hit that sucker, and it started taking off for the water. So I'm like, okay, better not have 2 poles in the water.
When I was in high school, my buddy and I went fishing, and they'd use hot dogs, right?
The cheap
And we're up in Wausau, Wisconsin, and we're fishing on this pier about this size. It's all concrete, and it was his dad's pole that I was using. And we'd throw these hot dogs out and set them on the bottom, and then we'd just sit there with our chair put at our feet. And I said, well, should I open the bail up or click the thing in case something grabs it, you know? I'm going to lose the pole. He goes, it never happens. Never happens.
Oh, no.
A couple minutes later, zoom! The pole away. We never found it. Never, and we weren't fishing it. It just went. It looked like a boat had got caught in a prop or something and just tore it out. It was so fast. So his dad was not happy.
When we used to go up to Minnesota, we would go over to this bridge, and all underneath the bridge in this lake, there was rice growing. The Indians planted rice in the shallow water,
Yeah.
and bullheads were huge. I mean, they were like 2 pounds.
Huh?
And somebody caught one on the lake where we were at one day, and we kept it, and they said, "Oh, if you like bullheads, I can tell you where to catch all you want of them." So they took us over and showed us. They thought we were nuts for fishing for bullheads when you had crappie and bluegill and
right.
walleye, you know.
Right.
But the thing was, the limits on bullheads were 100 per license. You know, when you go up there and you pay that much for a license, you only get, I think it was 6 bass, 15 crappie.
Yeah.
You could have 100 bullhead, 100 bluegill, but mean, you can catch 100 bullheads in one night.
Right. And it's fun, right?
Oh man, was it fun.
Just as much fun.
So do you prefer bass, or do you like just about anything?
You know, probably what I like to do the most is northern pike fish.
Really? Wow.
I mean, we don't get much of it here, but I love the northern fish, especially when I bring my boys and my girls out fishing. Yeah, they're fast action. You know, they're not real finicky. You can pretty much catch them on any kind of day. So yeah, that's probably my best. How about you? Bass?
Bass and bluegill and crappie.
Okay.
And I mean, I like the fight that the catfish give, but to be honest, I don't like taking them off the hook because
like
I'm always
messing with
hurting myself. Always afraid of hurting myself. That's about the only thing I don't like about catfish. They're good eating though.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a, one of these days when my boys get a little bit older, I want to do a northern pike Canada. You know, one of those lakes that are really, you know, high action, decent sized fish.
Yeah.
So we'll see if I can get that on the bucket list here.
Now,
always
do you
wanted to do one of those fly-ins, but I wouldn't fly. But now I fly, so that'd be all right too.
Now, from being up in Minnesota, there were yellow perch up there. Did you ever eat those? The ring perch?
You know, I do. In fact, I was up Wisconsin Memorial Weekend. We caught some perch. We eat those, yeah. And I eat all the northern pike. We flay the Y bones out, and they're better, or just as good, if not better, than a walleye.
Yeah.
You don't have to catch as many walleyes to make a, you know, to get one decent pike. So.
Yeah.
As long as you get the bones out. But yeah, the perch are decent. But the same thing up northern Wisconsin. The fish limits are real tight. You know, there's real 3 walleyes or 2 walleyes.
Yeah.
You can catch a bunch of 5 or 6 northern pike that are 25, 26. The kilo family. Have some fish to bring home. You never do any pike fishing?
Not intentionally.
I used to once in a while.
The last time we were in Minnesota, we were out on the lake all day, and I ended up catching every species of fish that was in the lake there that we knew of.
That was over at that lake. What was the name of it?
Buck Lake.
No. What lake was the big bluegill lake named?
Oh,
Bodenheimer. Yeah. It was probably maybe 7 to 10 acre lake. It wasn't very big, but they were just starting to sell lots around it. It had been a cow pasture for years, one of those. And somebody told us about it. We pulled our boat out of the water and took it over there one day, and he did. He ran the whole gamut. He caught a big bass, he caught a big crappie, he caught a northern, a walleye, perch. He caught everything. He was one of them days where he couldn't hold his mouth wrong. It was good. That was the one where I had a tracker, Pro Deep V17, and on the back of it, on the transom, I had Port of Pekin, Illinois. That's where we were from. And we're idling around this lake trolling, and these people come up and they said, "Oh, you're from Pekin. That's great to know you. We live in Manitou or something." Like, how in the world did they know where we were from, And they said, "You got it painted on the back of your boat." No, I never even gave it a thought. But yeah, it was cool. You meet people all over. And that's one of the neatest things about this thing that you guys did this weekend. Oh, these kids they're special, but they're people call them special needs, but they're special. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
You can learn so much from these kids being around them that it's not funny. And, you know, just like when we were sitting there eating lunch a while ago, that young man Bennett. At first, when I sat down there, he didn't really want me to sit next to him. But then, next thing you know, why he's poking me.
Oh man, we gotta go that way, Dad.
Yeah.
Stuck in the tree.
Tree bass. We're not after tree bass. We're after largemouth.
Trying to go for the honey hole spot right with
Yeah. Was trying to go right underneath that tree.
right underneath. Yeah, you did.
Landed up catching the tree.
And we got that on tape. That's even
Oh
better.
yeah, we do.
You gotta go home at some point, little man.
I hear you.
You want me to reel in as
Yeah.
we're going?
I turned the trolling motor off.
Your line's still on.
Okay.
There we go. You want me to retie it for you? Just because you may have a little bit of...
No, because I'm still stuck on the tree.
Oh, you're still stuck back there. Oh, you should be able to pull that out. A little thread on there, and then you put the little thing.
Yeah.
It's only not, it's, 6 o'clock.
Trying to throw that little bitty
And I don't
hole.
have glasses, but I need them. You know, I'm kind of the pride issue where I'm not getting them yet. So I'm working on this thing. I keep looking at the clock. I'm like, I got to get 7 or 8 of these poles done before we leave at 7 o'clock. And finally, I just yelled at my wife. I'm like, can you get out here and help me? So she had to come and thread them all through because I could not do it. I just could not focus on getting that through. But I can still tie a fishing knot. I can still see that far.
That's cute.
I think Brad's over there fishing on the dock.
Over at Lee's.
Lee's Landing.
Did you guys have a campfire last night?
No, we did
No,
not.
we
bought
got
all
in
those-
pretty late. And
We bought all them hot dogs, Dad, and we're not going to use them.
can you eat them at home?
Oh, pff, yeah.
Of course. Is that a question?
So Nate, what do you think about, would you be interested in being our spokesperson here for our annual event every year?
Definitely.
You could be our keynote kind of speaker and talk. How about it? This is our first event, but I think I would love to have you be, part of it and even help organize it and be a speaker.
That would be a great honor.
Would you do that?
Definitely.
Yeah, because again, we want to try to get it to where we have 25 and another 25 session. Then we have a banquet at night with awards and
There you go.
a little speech and somebody talking. So something to shoot for, and
Definitely.
maybe having you involved with the planning too would help us. Oh, you had a bite there.
Oh,
No fish, no bite. No evidence.
I knew that was going to come back to bite me later.
He's told me that several times today, Brian. That's why I said that.
Come on, one more. Who's gonna get the last fish here?
I don't know. Probably Dad.
I was just about to say. Probably gonna be at the back of the boat. The back or the front.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, now I'm getting dogged by everybody.
I mean, if you would have chosen the hot spot.
You want to stir the paddle, baby, or the kettle, you gotta. Oh gosh, this has been so much fun.
Oh, this has.
And it never fails when you do something like this. You always meet some wild, wonderful people, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we never would have met you and Brad and Kayla and everybody else if we hadn't come here this weekend and done this. And it's really neat to do it.
Well, and how I got a hold of Brad was when I talked to our state representative, how how the circle works, Mike Eunice, and I said, we're going to be looking to do an event, next summer, because this was in early fall of 2012.
Yeah.
And he said, well, why don't you call Brad Guidi with Camp Big Sky? And so I called him, and we ended up talking to have it out here, the same event. So
yeah.
And so Brad and I talked a lot, and he's a great guy. But it's nice to continue to meet new people, right?
It is. That's what I'm saying. It's never know. It could be another life-changing event.
Yes.
It has for me, because I've met a lot of great people and gotten to do a lot of things that without Camp Big Sky I never would have been able to do.
I think that's our biggest mission too.
There it is.
There we go.
Front of the boat, didn't I tell you? You run in front. You're happy.
Did I even catch any?
You had some close calls there.
Did you get one too, Dad?
No, I didn't get one. I quit. I've got a...
Although he's almost as big as your lure.
That's bad, Nathan.
How we doing over there, Brad?
Waiting on this catfish to make up his mind.
Oh yeah, you have it here?
Been playing around for about 10 minutes here.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah.
You want to go out with us next?
Well, I'll tell you what, if I catch a catfish, I might just stay right here, Nathan.
Okay.
We're about done.
Or I might go out. Let's see what happens here.
He's a serious fisherman. He's gonna wait that sucker out, huh?
That's what you have to do for those catfish. Those catfish they got patience. We was out here earlier. There was a turtle on that log over there.
I know one thing, my shoulder is going to be sore by the end of the day. Tomorrow's going to be even worse. What? I'm telling the truth.
Oh, from all the fish he's reeled in, and oh yeah.
No, just from popping the lure.
Oh, not from just that big 4-pound bass.
Nah.
Oh, buddy.
So do you guys have a website?
Yeah, www.cifishinghasnoboundaries.com. And phone number is 309-340-3731 for more information. But the website has a lot of it. It has the national organization links to it too. Look at different chapters. There's different events throughout, obviously, the Midwest with different chapters of people in it as well. We did have one from Iowa. She's establishing a chapter. She was here today. So her event's going to be next summer in Iowa.
Sounds like a cool deal.
All right, I'm gonna turn it off.
Okay. Have you ever worked a trolling
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. I hope that you had a good time, and I hope that you enjoyed learning a few things. Now, if you're wanting to make reservations at Camp Big Sky, you can do one of two things. You can either go to their website, it's campbigsky.org, or you can call Brad Guidi, the owner of Camp Big Sky, at 309-258-6002. Also, if you want to get in touch with Brian from Fishing Has No Boundaries, you can call him at 1309-340-3731. Or you can send him an email at bzowen@aol.com. Well, like I said, that's about all the time we have for today's show. I hope that you enjoyed it. And check out those websites, and don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the channel. Have a good day. Bye-bye.